Hello, brothers, and welcome to Sigma Old Man channel. The most dangerous man is the one who can see through your games and chooses silence over chaos. Manipulative people thrive on control. They weave lies, distort truths, and play the victim like seasoned actors. But here's the twist. Their entire game collapses when they meet a Sigma male. These lone wolves don't just sidestep manipulation, they dismantle it piece by piece with unnerving precision. Here's a fact to chew on. Studies show that highly independent individuals are far harder to manipulate because they don't seek external validation. Now, imagine trying to manipulate someone who doesn't crave attention, plays by their own rules, and sees your schemes before you even think of them. Spoiler alert, it's like trying to play chess with someone who already knows your every move. And trust me, when a Sigma male decides to take down a manipulator, it's not just checkmate, it's game over. Number one, they let manipulators destroy themselves. Manipulators are their own worst enemies, and Sigma males understand this better than anyone. They don't waste their energy trying to expose or fight manipulative people directly. Instead, they let the manipulator's behavior do all the work. Sigma males stay calm, observant, and utterly unbothered, knowing full well that manipulators will eventually trip over their own lies and schemes. Manipulation thrives in chaos, but Sigma males are masters of stillness. They refuse to play into the drama, and without an emotional reaction to feed off, manipulators start to panic. That's when cracks begin to show. What's brilliant is how Sigma males subtly create an environment where a manipulator's true nature is bound to reveal itself. They might give them just enough rope to pull off their schemes, knowing that overconfidence will push the manipulator to go too far. When this happens, their tactics start to unravel, and it becomes painfully obvious to everyone around them who they really are. Sigma males never need to point fingers or shout accusations. They simply let the truth surface naturally. The beauty of this approach lies in its simplicity. The manipulator destroys their own credibility, often alienating themselves in the process. While they spiral into self-inflicted chaos, the Sigma male stands unaffected, watching as everything crumbles around the manipulator without lifting a finger. It's not about revenge or malice. It's about patience and strategy. In the end, the manipulator becomes the architect of their own downfall, leaving the Sigma male to move forward unscathed, as if nothing had ever happened. It's a quiet, calculated takedown that leaves no room for retaliation. And that's what makes it so devastating. Number two, they force manipulators to show their hand. Sigma males don't confront manipulators with loud accusations or dramatic outbursts. They're far too strategic for that. Instead, they set up situations that quietly force manipulators to expose themselves. It's not manipulation, it's intellectual judo. By staying composed and acting indifferent, Sigma males make manipulators overplay their hand, revealing their intentions far earlier than they'd planned. For example, a Sigma might ask a seemingly innocent question in a group setting that subtly points to the manipulator's motives. The manipulator, eager to maintain control, scrambles to respond but often slips up, exposing their true agenda to everyone present. The brilliance lies in how effortlessly it's done. The Sigma male never raises his voice or looks confrontational. He just calmly observes as the manipulator stumbles over their web of lies, revealing more than they intended. What makes this tactic so effective is that it catches manipulators off guard. They're used to operating in the shadows, twisting perceptions behind the scenes. But when their game is pulled into the light prematurely, they lose their power. The carefully constructed facade falls apart, leaving them vulnerable and humiliated. And the best part, Sigma males don't even have to point out the manipulator's slip-ups. They let the audience draw their own conclusions, making the exposure all the more devastating. It's not just about outsmarting the manipulator. It's about showing them that their tactics don't work on someone who operates on a completely different level. By forcing manipulators to reveal their cards before they're ready, Sigma males ensure that the game ends before it even starts. It's a quiet but crushing defeat that leaves manipulators with no room to recover. Number three, they never lower their standards. Manipulators are experts at testing limits, subtly nudging people to bend their morals or lower their standards just a little at first. It's their way of finding cracks in the armor. But Sigma males are an entirely different breed. They don't crack. and they certainly don't bend. Their standards are not just guidelines, they're non-negotiable rules. This is what makes manipulators hit a wall every time they try to exploit a Sigma. Sigma males don't seek approval or fear rejection, so they don't feel pressured to compromise, even in situations where the stakes seem high. A manipulator might attempt emotional blackmail or guilt tripping, expecting the usual reaction of appeasement. But with a Sigma male, those tactics are useless. They respond with unwavering calmness and a simple no that's both definitive and unshakable. It's not stubbornness, it's a deep understanding that their values are not for sale, no matter how cleverly someone tries to package the deal. What's truly frustrating for manipulators is that Sigma males don't engage in debates or arguments about their boundaries. There's no opening for negotiation, no cracks to exploit. The manipulator is left floundering, realizing that their usual methods hold no power here. And the more they try to push, the more they reveal their own desperation. This refusal to lower their standards doesn't just protect Sigma males, it exposes manipulators for what they are. Their inability to break through the Sigma's resolve reveals their true intentions to anyone watching. In the end, manipulators walk away defeated while Sigma males remain untouched, their integrity intact and their respect for themselves unshaken. It's a quiet but powerful victory that leaves no doubt about who's in control. Number 4, they outsmart emotional traps. Manipulative people rely on emotional traps like guilt, anger, or flattery to get what they want. It's their bread and butter, lure you in, tangle you up, and control the narrative. But Sigma males, they don't fall for it. They operate on logic, not knee-jerk reactions, and that's what makes them so untouchable. Manipulators thrive on drama, but Sigma males respond with calculated calmness that turns the entire game on its head. When a manipulator tries to guilt them into compliance, a Sigma male doesn't crumble. They assess the situation with sharp clarity, questioning the motives behind the guilt trip, rather than absorbing the emotional weight. If someone tries to provoke them with anger or petty arguments, they don't take the bait. Instead, they step back, stay composed, and let the manipulator reveal their immaturity. Manipulators hate this. Without an emotional reaction to latch onto, their tricks fall flat. What's particularly brilliant is that Sigma males don't just sidestep these traps, they dismantle them entirely. They'll counter emotional manipulation with logic so sharp it cuts through the manipulator's web of lies. If someone tries to push their buttons, they respond with calm, pointed questions that make the manipulator trip over their own tactics. It's not loud or aggressive, it's subtle, precise, and devastatingly effective. This approach leaves manipulators frustrated and powerless. They can't control someone who refuses to engage on their terms. And while the manipulator is left scrambling to adjust their failing strategy, the Sigma male has already moved on, unaffected and unbothered. In a world where emotional traps catch most people off guard, Sigma males walk through them like they don't even exist, leaving manipulators stunned and defeated. Number 5, they observe before acting. Manipulators thrive on impulsive reactions. They bait people into quick decisions or emotional outbursts, knowing that chaos gives them the upper hand. But Sigma males, they refuse to be rushed or cornered. Instead, they sit back and observe. They study the manipulator's every move, their patterns, their tactics, like a chess player mapping out the opponent's strategy 10 steps ahead. This patience and attention to detail are what make them impossible to outmaneuver. Sigma males know that acting too soon can reveal their own hand, so they let the manipulator think they're winning. They'll listen carefully, analyze motives, and pick up on inconsistencies, all while keeping their own intentions under wraps. It's not about being passive, it's about gathering intel and waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And when that moment comes, their actions are swift, deliberate, and devastatingly effective. What sets Sigma males apart is their ability to hit where it hurts most, but not in a loud or dramatic way. They expose the manipulator's weaknesses with a subtle move that leaves no room for retaliation. For instance, they might call out a lie in a calm, factual tone that leaves the manipulator scrambling for excuses. Or they might ask a single well-placed question that forces the manipulator to contradict themselves in front of others. Every action is calculated, designed to dismantle the manipulator's game without drawing unnecessary attention. This method is as ruthless as it is effective, Manipulators thrive on creating chaos, but Sigma males thrive on control. By observing first and acting with precision, they turn the manipulator's own tactics against them, leaving them exposed and powerless. It's not just a counterattack. It's a masterclass in psychological warfare. Number 6, they exploit manipulators' need for validation. Manipulators are addicted to validation. It's their lifeline. They craft elaborate schemes, pull strings, and play mind games, all to gain attention and approval. Sigma males, however, recognize this weakness instantly and use it to their advantage. They don't argue, engage, or feed into the manipulator's need for acknowledgement. Instead, they withhold the very thing the manipulator craves most: validation. And that's where the entire game falls apart. By staying emotionally detached, Sigma males deny manipulators the satisfaction of control. When the manipulator tries to provoke a reaction, they're met with calm indifference. When they attempt to gain sympathy or admiration, they're ignored. This lack of engagement isn't just frustrating for manipulators, it's destabilizing. Their entire strategy hinges on evoking some kind of response, and without one, they're left spinning their wheels in vain. Sigma males take it a step further by subtly exposing this dependency. They might respond with a cryptic comment or an unbothered shrug that highlights how desperate the manipulator is for validation. It's not confrontational, but it's powerful enough to make the manipulator second-guess themselves. This calculated detachment leaves manipulators scrambling for attention they'll never receive. What's devastating about this approach is how quiet and effortless it looks. The manipulator ends up exhausting themselves, chasing approval that isn't coming, while the Sigma male remains unaffected and in control. Over time, the manipulator's tactics lose their edge and their desperation becomes obvious to everyone around them. It's a masterstroke of psychological resilience. Manipulators can't win a game when their opponent refuses to play, and Sigma males don't just refuse. They make the manipulator's own need for validation their ultimate downfall. Number 7, they don't give second chances. Manipulators thrive on second chances. They rely on forgiveness to refine their tactics, thinking they can try again with a softer approach or more subtle manipulation. But Sigma males, they don't operate that way. The moment a manipulator shows their true colors, the door slams shut permanently. There's no debate, no drawn-out confrontation, and certainly no opportunity for redemption. One strike and you're out. What makes this so effective is the finality of it. Manipulators often count on people to hesitate or give them the benefit of the doubt. But a Sigma male sees deceit as a red flag, not a yellow one. They don't waste time wondering if it was just a mistake or a one-time thing. To them, dishonesty is a character trait, not a slip-up. And they're not about to stick around to see if it gets worse. This approach leaves manipulators stunned because they lose control instantly. They can't beg, charm, or guilt their way back into a Sigma male's good graces. Once they're cut off, that's it. The Sigma doesn't explain themselves or leave room for negotiation. They simply walk away. And that silence? It's more devastating than any argument could ever be. By refusing to give second chances, Sigma males send a clear message. Manipulation doesn't work here. It's a boundary so firm that it leaves manipulators powerless, unable to exploit or recover. They're left scrambling for their next target while the Sigma moves forward, unbothered and unscarred. It's not about being unforgiving, it's about self-respect, and that's something manipulators will never be able to shake. Number 8, they turn manipulators' games into lessons. When manipulators try to play their games with a Sigma male, they unknowingly step into a masterclass they never signed up for. While most people might feel victimized or blindsided, Sigma males see manipulation as a mental sparring match, an opportunity to study, adapt, and grow stronger. They don't just survive the manipulator's tactics, they weaponize the experience to make themselves even more unshakable. Sigma males are naturally observant and analytical. They treat manipulation like a puzzle, dissecting every move, motive, and emotional ploy. Instead of reacting impulsively, they stay calm, letting the manipulator believe their tricks are working. This isn't naivety, it's strategy. By playing along just enough, Sigma males gain insight into the manipulator's methods, storing that knowledge for future use. The manipulator walks away thinking they've succeeded, blissfully unaware that they've just provided the Sigma with a free crash course in counter-manipulation. And when the time is right, Sigma males flip the script. They don't retaliate out of spite. They simply expose the manipulator's tactics in a way that's subtle yet undeniable. It's not about embarrassing anyone, it's about making it clear that their games won't work here. The manipulator ends up bewildered, realizing too late that they were outplayed from the start. This ability to turn manipulation into a learning experience is what sets Sigma males apart. They come out of these encounters sharper, more resilient, and utterly untouchable. Manipulators, on the other hand, leave the exchange defeated, their playbook exposed, and their ego bruised. Sigma males don't just endure manipulation, they evolve because of it, turning every game into a lesson that ensures they're always one step ahead. Number 9, they expose weakness without malice. Sigma males don't need to raise their voice or get into a heated argument to destroy a manipulator's confidence. Their strength lies in their ability to expose a manipulator's vulnerabilities with surgical precision without ever making it feel like an attack. It's all about subtlety. They don't point out flaws with malice or confrontation, but instead they pose questions or make offhand comments that quietly shine a spotlight on the manipulator's insecurities. The beauty of this approach is that it doesn't just make the manipulator uncomfortable, it forces them into a state of self-doubt. Imagine a manipulator used to controlling a room with their charm or deceit, suddenly hit with the realization that their game is falling apart. The Sigma male doesn't need to say much, but the words that are said are enough to make the manipulator second-guess their every move. The more they try to recover, the more they reveal their own cracks. It's not about being cruel, it's about making the manipulator see that their own weaknesses are glaringly obvious and that no amount of charm or manipulation will cover them up. By making the manipulator aware of their own flaws, Sigma males neutralize their power. The manipulator's sense of superiority crumbles, and without that edge, they lose the ability to manipulate others effectively. What's fascinating is that Sigma males don't even need to call the manipulator out directly. The mere act of exposing their weakness without malice or anger creates a shift in the power dynamic. The manipulator can no longer hide behind their tactics. The self-doubt sets in, and with it, their ability to control fades. It's a quiet, psychological blow, but it's enough to leave them questioning their own worth, weakening their hold on others. Number 10, they stay 3 steps ahead. Manipulators live in the moment, constantly scheming to get what they want right now, often relying on immediate tactics that they think will work. But Sigma males aren't playing for today. They're planning for the long game. While the manipulator is focused on their next move, the Sigma male is already thinking 3 steps ahead, anticipating their every attempt and calculating how to counter it before the manipulator even knows what's coming. This foresight gives Sigma males an unmatched advantage. They don't just react to the manipulator's current moves. They predict what the manipulator will do next and the move after that. By staying 3 steps ahead, they can prepare and preemptively shut down any attempts to control or deceive them. The manipulator's tactics, no matter how clever, become futile because the Sigma male has already anticipated them and formulated a response. What's even more powerful is that Sigma males use this foresight to create scenarios where the manipulator walks right into their own trap. They might allow the manipulator to think they're winning, all while leading them into a situation where their plan is doomed from the start. The manipulator, thinking they've outsmarted the Sigma, only realizes too late that they've been outplayed from the beginning. It's a quiet power, but incredibly effective. While the manipulator is busy trying to maneuver their way through the present, the Sigma male has already ensured that their moves will be irrelevant in the future. The manipulator's efforts become a futile game of catch-up, leaving them bewildered and powerless as the Sigma male's long-term plan unfolds perfectly. It's not about reacting in the moment, it's about orchestrating the entire play from start to finish, with the manipulator none the wiser. In the end, Sigma males don't just survive in a world full of manipulators, they thrive. They don't get caught in the emotional mess or manipulative traps others so often fall for. Instead, they rise above, seeing every game for what it truly is, an opportunity to stay 3 steps ahead, to sharpen their mind and to maintain an unshakable sense of self-respect. Manipulators rely on subtlety, cunning, and the willingness of others to turn a blind eye. But a Sigma male knows that the best way to handle manipulation isn't by fighting back with force, it's by remaining calm, collected, and in complete control of the situation. They turn the tables with ease, transforming each manipulative attempt into a lesson for themselves and a downfall for the manipulator. In a world where manipulation often reigns, Sigma males stand as the masters of their own fate, untouchable and undefeatable. They don't need to prove themselves. Their actions speak louder than words ever could. With every move they make, they elevate themselves above the noise, leaving manipulators scrambling in their wake. And the truth is, manipulators might never even realize they've lost. They're too blinded by their own games to notice that the Sigma has already won. When it's all said and done, the Sigma male doesn't just avoid being manipulated. They redefine the rules, showing that in a game of mind and power, the quietest player often emerges as the most formidable. So, the next time a manipulator thinks they've found an opening, remember, while they're plotting their next move, the Sigma has already won. If you found this insight into the powerful, unshakable mindset of Sigma males intriguing, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on more game-changing content. Drop a like if you appreciate seeing things from a new perspective, and share this with anyone who needs to understand what it truly means to stay one step ahead. Got thoughts or experiences with manipulators? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your take. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, the best way to handle the game is to not play by their rules at all. Bye for now, and see you in the next video.